Where's the smell? Oh, where does it come from? My goodness, it stinks. And that is our topic for today on renovation of the nose. Welcome. I am Deb Meyer with OdorXit, and today's topic is where's the smell coming from? If you don't know that, in most of our products, it's pretty difficult to get rid of the smell. What we're going to talk about today is what smells those are. Well, you got to know where it is, how to find it, and then how to get rid of it. So stay tuned. If you are new here, please go down and hit the subscribe button. That will get you notified anytime we have a new video get posted. And we're talking about odors these days and how you can make your life smell fresh and clean. Because, you know, we are what we eat. We are also what we breathe. So get your air smelling fresh and clean, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So our first product, OdorXit Odor Eliminator. There's a glare where I am, so maybe you can see that. OdorXit Odor Eliminator. It must come in contact with all the source of the odor, or it will still smell. What it does is break down the source of the odor. It changes its chemical composition safely, but it stops it from smelling after it does that. So urine, vomit, feces, skunk on your dog's fur or face. If you don't get the OdorXit solution, and you're always going to, when you do a concentrate, you're always going to mix this 4 ounces to a gallon of water, or whatever that breaks down to in the size container you have. But the water is part of the catalyst to make the product work, so you got to add water to the concentrate. If you buy our ready-to-use odor eliminator, then we've added the water, so you don't have to. And you're just going to start spraying. That's the odor. No, I digress. So let's say you got skunk on your dog. He was out carousing about bedtime last night, and there in the shadows was a little black and white thing he thought was a kitty cat, and then all of a sudden he smelled really bad. He ran into your house, and oh my gosh. Now, what are you going to do? First, you're going to put him in the shower or take him outside and wash him. Use a veterinarian approved dog shampoo to get as much of that oil and that stink off as possible. Then you're going to mix the OdorXit and water and put it in a bowl and take a sponge and get it wet, and then go with the fur and against the fur to get it on all sides of those hairs and down to the skin, so it gets to wherever that skunk spray got. If you miss a spot of the skunk spray, you'll know it. It will still smell, especially if it rains. He goes out in the rain and gets wet again, that smell's going to come back. So how do you take care of that? Well, you put your nose on your dog and find out exactly where that smell is still coming from and reapply the OdorXit. So you've got to get it to the source of the odor. What is it you do? Find the source and saturate it. There you go. All right. High tech these days. So what about urine? Same thing. If you miss a spot, it will still smell. So if you've got urine on carpet, we got some pictures here of this as well. If you got urine on carpet, this is what it looks like on the top of the carpet. Just a small little spot. It's a little dog. He didn't do very much that you can see. So if you apply the OdorXit to just this area, it's still going to smell. You know why? Because the back of the carpet looks like this. Much bigger. What happens is you take a half a cup of liquid water, put it on your carpet, and you're going to see that it's this big on top, but it absorbs out. It's got to go somewhere. You know, if you've got it in a cup, it's just sitting there. But once you take it out of the cup, it absorbs into a much bigger area. And if you don't apply the OdorXit to this much bigger area, this is all you do, it's still going to smell. So what are you going to do? Find the source and saturate. I love my audio visuals. So if you don't do that, it is still going to smell. So concrete, how do you do concrete? Kind of the same way. Assume that, you know, if an animal's been in the basement peeing for a long period of time, they pee in the corner. And at some point, even that hard concrete, it's got to go somewhere. That liquid has to go somewhere. And concrete, while it's hard, it's very porous. So it is going to absorb that liquid deeper into the pores of the concrete and bigger. So again, you need to apply it to a much bigger area than what you see. And what are you going to do? Find the source and saturate. But we have tricks for this other. We have tricks that you will get in our odor Bible that whenever you buy concentrate, you get a copy of. And even on the back of the label here. Number 4, in the instructions, which you really can't see, there's a little star beside it. It says, to improve the performance of the OdorXit solution on carpet or concrete, add a carpet shampoo containing the ingredient surfactant to the concentrate and water solution. Why are you going to do that? What's surfactant? Surfactant is a chemical. It's when you touch your dishwasher soap, your laundry soap, it's just real slimy. That's called surfactant. And that is what helps absorb the solutions, the soap, the OdorXit into your clothing, into the carpet, deeper into the concrete. So you're going to get a better source, get the solution to more of the source of the odor, and that's how you're going to do a better job on your concrete, getting the odor out. So I don't have a show and tell of that either. But carpet shampoo, if it doesn't list the ingredients on there, put it back on the shelf. And a lot of them don't. It's just soapy water, and it's giving you the appearance of cleaner. So if it doesn't say surfactant, don't get it. There are certain brands that have it. Some of the Bissell's carry it. Some of the Resolve have it. The Walmart, Walmart Great Value Carpet Shampoo does. It's got a dog and a cat on the label. And we recommend that just because it's nationwide and easier to find. And it's usually there. Now, obviously, it's not going to be in your Ace Hardwares and Do It Best Hardwares, but so you'll have to read the labels there. The word is surfactant, and again, it's on the back of any concentrate label, so you can see what it is. But so what are you going to do with that? Find and saturate the source with surfactant. So now, how are you going to find these spots? You know, you walk in your basement and go, it stinks down here. And maybe the kids' toys are everywhere, and you got boxes, and you got tables and stuff. You know, maybe you live in your house. So you got lots of stuff there. Doesn't happen at my house because we're always neat and tidy. Oh, did my nose just grow? So what are you going to do? OdorXit is prepared for those questions. On our website, we also sell a little black light flashlight. You see how it's purple? I don't know what you can see on the screen. Maybe it's fluorescing a little bit purple. It's purple on the lens, so maybe it is. And what that does, and I don't have a sample of that either, but it makes urine fluoresce. It's not going to be purple. It's going to turn kind of yellowish green. And you're going to know that that's urine, dog, cat, people, babies, adults, urine. And that's where you're going to apply the product. So you start to see that yellowish green stuff, and you don't have to have pitch black with our flashlight. It's really pretty intense. So, I mean, you don't want to stand in direct sunlight because it will not work. You'll need to block it. I've been in nursing homes where we shine it, and I kind of block the light with my body, and then you can shine it and see. But when you see something fluoresce, and if you're like my age, then you had black lights when you were a kid, and we had the posters on the walls and the colors popped out. Well, that's what you're looking for with the urine. So it's going to be yellowish green, and that's where you're going to apply the OdorXit solution. Maybe on the wall. If you're in a bathroom, when I was in some nursing homes and trying to find the source of their odor, because they'd done everything else and it just didn't go away, you could see pee up on the walls dripping down. You could see it on the cabinet, in the shower. And think about where you pee and don't think about it. But you do it over and over and over, and it doesn't get cleaned up because soap does not clean away the smell of urine. Neither does paint, while we're on the topic. Don't paint. Use OdorXit, then paint. And if you're in, we do a lot of rehab houses as well. Cats will sit on furniture, even on kitchen cabinets that don't go all the way to the ceiling. And they're kind of lazy little creatures, so they will pee right there. And then it will drip behind the cabinet and down the wall. So you could have pee 5 feet up on your wall. You could have pee 3 feet up where they sat on your dining room, whatever's backed up to the wall, your end tables, file cabinets. If it's up this high, it's probably a file cabinet that they were sitting on and peed. So you've got to spray all those places. You can kind of see them on the walls. If you stand at an angle and look down the wall, you'll see little drops, it's like water dripping down your siding in the rainstorm. But it doesn't smell like that. So you're going to have to spray the OdorXit, the odor eliminator, in all those places where there's urine. And being able to find those places is going to be easiest done with a black light, unless you just want to spray the whole house. And if you want to do that, I love it. You're going to need more product, but it's not cost effective for you. So you want to put it where the urine is. And then if you come back, you spray the whole house, you've treated your carpet, maybe you've even put the OdorXit concentrate into a carpet shampooer and scrub your whole carpet with carpet shampoo, with surfactant, and the OdorXit concentrate, and you still got a smell. Now what are you going to do? I mean, you've already thought you found the source and saturated it, but now there's just a little bit of smell left. What I tell people who call in, stand in the middle of the room and look around and just look at the unusual places that you might have not sprayed, you might have missed. And what are those places? Well, if you're in a kitchen and it smells, it's the area above the cabinet if it doesn't go all the way to the ceiling. If you had a few cats and the house was empty, they will get up there. If you have cats, there's no place they will go. Unfortunately, they'll get up on top of your refrigerator. They're looking, they're inquisitive creatures. It's kind of fun watching our little cat and see him kind of learn what things are and how fast the doors close and if they miss his tail or not. So they'll go anywhere. Pee could be anywhere. Obviously, dogs are not going to get up there. So it's nice to know the size of the dog, because you're going to know how big the area of pee might be, or how high on the wall he might have hiked his leg and peed. Now, here's another little tip. Cats typically pee in the corners, and dogs pee in the middle of the room. So if you know what animal was there, that's where you'd want to concentrate your time and product to get rid of the smell. But going back to other places where the smell could be hidden, if you have ductwork in the floor or right at the low on the wall that they could be hiking their leg and peeing in there, you want to be sure and spray in there. You've got to get the OdorXit solution to all of the urine, or you won't get rid of all the smell. So if you got ductwork in the floor, you know the metal comes up and it laps over the edges, maybe a quarter of an inch on all four sides. So you want to spray up under there. You want to spray the linoleum. When you spray between the boards, as if it's a wood floor. You want to spray wherever there could be urine, and look around the door jambs. There's so many pieces of wood to fit in the threshold, to fit in the jamb where the siding of the door fits into the threshold. Maybe you're going to have to take that out. We had a guy in Missouri who he bought a lot of houses, and he was calling us often because he just one little bit of smell left he couldn't find. What he ended up having to do was take the window apart because the cats had sat in the windowsill and peed there. And again, that windowsill has lots of little pieces of wood, little layers that the urine soaked down between and into the wall and between the front of the wall and the back of the wall. And he had to spray in there to get rid of all that smell. There was so much urine in there. So you've got to let your nose be your guide. Find out what part of the room that smell is coming from and go after it and spray. And I promise you, if you get whatever this is, here it is, Odor Eliminator, to every little piece of urine in that room, you will 100% get rid of that smell forever. It will not come back, but you've got to get it to everywhere there's urine. So what do? Find the source and saturate it. And, the source doesn't have to be this big spot on the carpet. It can be the pee dripping down the wall. That's a source. So you got to find them all. I went into a new hardware store, is now carrying our products, and I walked in and it smelled bad. And they said, yeah, we've got some dead mice here and we can't find them. So I went in and sprayed the other product that I don't have here. Oh, yes, I do. Magic. Magic is a different product altogether. It absorbs odors in the air. So it's perfect for dead mice smell. It's decaying somewhere. Often it's behind the wall. You can't get to the source to remove that body. So you kind of got to wait for him to decay. And you can't tolerate the smell for that long. And if it's a rat, then it's going to take longer to decay than a little mouse. So spraying the magic. So I gave them a bottle and sprayed the whole area. I sprayed, around the cash register where it was really strong when you first walked in the door. I sprayed over by the bags of feed. It was a hardware store with feed for animals kind of out in the country. I sprayed around there because you could see where they had put a hole in the bag and were eating the food. So they apparently died. That was their last meal. They ate till they were dead. So I sprayed all that, and it made it much better. But you've got to respray because those animals are going to continue to outgas until it totally decays. So you had to respray. So I ended up going back the next day, and the smell was much better. But however, they told me that they had found the source of the odor, and it was 5 little mice on a glue trap. That was apparently the most gross thing she'd ever run into. I like it that I hear the stories, that I don't get to actually be there always. So they got rid of that. They got rid of the source, They were able to. Now, if that was behind a wall, they'd had to wait till all 5 of those decayed, but continue to spray the magic to absorb that odor. So again, you got to find the source. Where's the smell coming from? Find the source and treat it. And when you not sure what product to use, you can get on our website, and we have what we call the Odor Wizard, and find your odor, and it'll give you what product to use and how to use it the best we can tell you without knowing your exact situation. But we certainly answer questions on the phone, knowing your exact situation, to help you be sure you get rid of your odor 100%, because we guarantee our products, because we know they do what we say they do. And for our third product, I want to talk about mold, mildew, cigarette smoke. You walk into a house and it stinks of cigarette. What are you going to do? Well, most people paint over it. And then they call us and go, I painted it and it still smells. Now what? Well, we really like it when you do not paint first. It's much better on you. It's much easier on you. The time is much faster for our products to work and get rid of that smell. But if you're that overachiever and want to paint first because you think that's going to solve your issue, call us anyway. It's just going to take longer, and it will take more product to get rid of the smell. But we can get rid of that smell. And here's the one product that we use. It's called AQM, Air Quality Manager. And again, you got to know where the smell is. Okay, it's in this room. If it's in this room, it's probably throughout the whole house. So you're going to have to treat the whole house. If you have a musty smell, you really need to treat the whole house, because even if it's a water leak, condensation, something that the odor starts in the basement and you've got that musty smell, treating the basement isn't going to solve the whole problem. Your air system, wherever it is taking all that air throughout the whole house. So it's grabbing it in the basement and putting it into the egg coil, through the filter and out through the ducts in every floor of your house, in every room. And now your mold spores have spread. So you really need to treat the whole house to be totally successful and get rid of those mold spores. I had a lady call me just this week, and she wanted something. She goes, I see it takes 30 days to use this. It doesn't actually take 30 days. The packets produce the gas in here, the chlorine dioxide gas, to get rid of those smells for 20 to 30 days. But it's probably gone in a week, 10 days normally. But we always say leave the packet in there and let it continue working. I mean, it's no big deal. You can be in the room while it's working. Just keep your fan on. It's going to circulate it. Just going to do a better job and get to the cracks and crevices. I'm looking for something between things, the longer it's in there. So it's just circulating through the air. What it does, it's 2.5 times more effective than chlorine. So what it does is oxidizing, because it has extra oxygen molecules added to chlorine, and it is able to oxidize these odors, the cigarette smoke smell, the mold and mildew. It adds oxygen to the mixture, breaks it down, and stops it from doing whatever it's doing, procreating, stinking, breaks down the tar and nicotine. Now your wall is still going to be yellow. It's not going to make your wall white. But the lady who called me, she didn't want to wait 30 days to get rid of the mold. She wanted to do it like in the next 10 hours while her husband was gone. Well, that's really not what you want to do. If you want to get rid of the mold like right now, then what you need is the moms. Oh, no, here's what we want. There we go. We want moms. It stands for mold, odor, mildew, smoke. And it's still got a little white packet in here. You put it into a 2-liter bottle of water, and it is going to turn the water kind of greenish. And then you're going to take a spray bottle, fill the spray bottle up about a quarter of the way with the concentrate from the 2-liter bottle, and then fill the rest of the way with water. So that's going to make it kind of a light greenish. It's actually kind of the color of the UV is going to show up. Let's see if that shows up. No, it's already that color. Just testing. So then you can spray this directly on the mold. And this is really only good if you see mold. If it's musty smelling and you don't really see any mold, then just do the AQM and you'll have to wait. But this, if you actually see mold spots on your walls, floor, ceiling, you can spray it with the moms. It'll stop its growth. It won't grow anymore. It won't put out any more spores in the air. It's going to stop the smell pretty much, but you're still going to want the AQM because with the gas in the air, it's going to oxidize those spores floating in the air. So this is going to go directly on the source. We're still going to find the source and spray it, but it's not going to do anything for the spores in the air. Now, once you spray it or once you get these products, this chlorine dioxide, to any of the mold, it's going to die, but it's going to create mycotoxins. And mycotoxins are still toxic, but it is the leftover particles out of the mold that's hazardous. So you don't want to breathe it. And this is true just if you see mold. If it's musty in the air, you don't have to worry about this. But if you see mold, a black spot, a green spot, mold comes in multiple colors. It's very pretty. It can be, but it's, when it doesn't, it's really gross. Take a Dawn dishwashing solution in warm water with a paper towel or a cloth towel and wipe each of those areas. The Dawn acts like a glue and it's going to pick up those mycotoxins and then throw it away. Use that towel once on every space, so 1, and then turn it over in 2. You can change it, fold it 3, 4, then throw it away. You want a clean spot on the towel every time you swipe that area. So that glue in the Dawn is going to, it's not glue, it acts like a glue, it's sticky. It's going to pick up those particles like it picks up dust, dirt, foodstuffs on your counter. And so you're not going to breathe them. And then the other really important thing is while you're doing this work, you need to be wearing a respirator, not a cloth silly thing that we get for COVID. Those are useless. Thank you, BWC. I got 50 of them in the mail, but they're useless. They will not keep out mold spores that you're breathing or these mycotoxins. You don't want this stuff in your lungs. It's hazardous and it's going to make you feel bad, breathe bad. We are what we breathe, so we don't want to be breathing those mycotoxins. So throw that paper towel, whatever that you're using away and get it out of your house. I had another guy call. He used all this AQM on his house. They had a big leak. There was probably 12 inches of water in the basement. The people moved out, and he went in and went to rehab it, and he used the AQM, and that's a perfect use for that. He goes, Deb, I used all this. It still smells. What did I do? Did you do this? Yes. Did you do that? Yes. So I went over and looked at the house, and he'd done everything right except, sorry, he left the garbage can full of all of the paper towels, rotting wood, moldy drywall, sitting in the middle of the room, and couldn't understand why the odor wasn't gone. So remove it, saturate the source and remove the source. So if you're, rehabbing, you got to get that stinky stuff out of the house. I love my stories. I love my customers. I learn so much from them. One more story about OdorXit, and then we're gonna let you go find your own odor. So a friend called me this week. She has a business. She's in the basement of like this 3-story business office, and she has her own sump pump in the sink because she does massage and that kind of thing. So she's cleaning towels and cleaning a lot, keeping it safe for everybody. And this was the protocol even before COVID. So, and she says, it's kind of, it's a small little kind of a, if you could pick it up, portable sump pump. It's under the sink, under the cabinet, but it just stopped working and then it overflowed. And then it just filled the building, the whole floor, with this putrid waste smell. And she goes, please help. Which product? I got a couple. Which do I use? What? So I went over there and helped her. And she got under the cabinet and kind of sprayed. And she kind of sprayed like you would spray an air freshener. But now you've got to get it to the source and saturate it. So, I kind of sniffed and the whole cabinet smelled bad. But there was like a top and a bottom. So there was a seam. And she says, that's where it poured out. So I sprayed the odor eliminator on this whole sump pump, on all 4 sides, on the lid, on the cabinet it was sitting in, on the carpet below where it had oozed out, anywhere where this was, to stop that smell. So again, find the source and saturate it. So that source was anywhere that leak had dripped, oozed, and it was all cleaned up, but it still smelled bad. So I kind of got the easy job, if you call smelling stinky easy. But that's what we do here. So thank you for your time today. We are OdorXit. We show odors the exit. You are what you eat, so you are also what you breathe. So make your breathing space clean and fresh. Just know which OdorXit product you need to do that. If you've got questions, we are 877-OdorXit or OdorXit.com. We would love for you to, again, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. You'll be notified of more videos as we put them out. And I already have a topic for next week, but I can't remember it, so I won't share it yet. But we are also OdorXit.com, OdorXit.com. We show odors the exit to make your life fresh and clean. Have a great day, and thanks for tuning in. Bye now.